Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Sunday Night Calling. I've got a feeling that this one is going to be fairly lively regarding a post what was put out this morning from us, from Ben, which I think a hell of a lot of people seem to have misunderstood it to a degree. But hey ho, we'll get it. Our head's right. Chris, I think, possibly misunderstood. It's hard to tell with you, Chris, because I don't know if you're being highly sarcastic or if you misunderstood what thing. Ben's not saying that you're not allowed to moan. What Ben's saying is that we go to Millwall, win, lose, or draw. And you can have your moan and everything else. It's just that there seems to be a big group of people at the moment that seems to think that we should be winning 5-0 every week. Am I? In short, that's pretty much it, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. And as we said yesterday, we were all disappointed. We were all gutted with the result, right? But we had a good evening after that. And it's just sometimes it's a bit more in a bigger picture, as I said in one of my tweets. It's about seeing your friends, seeing your family. We don't follow Millwall for winning all the time, do we? So I think, yeah, it's just bigger picture sometimes. But we are disappointed, and we all want the best for the club, obviously. So
I'm just gonna skip a couple of the comments and just put this.
But other than that,
I agree. Millwall Holdings, boo him.
But other than that, yeah, no, our heads are okay, mate. So yeah, bit rotten this morning, but yeah, still, to be fair, I'm fucking too old for all this shit. To be fair, so yeah, a little bit delicate, but
Has Paul turned up? Is Paul in the comments anywhere, or is he in the doghouse tonight?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. So yeah, we come there with that.
He'll be there at some point.
John,
He'll be there at some point.
So then, gents, let's where are we? Hi guys, hope hi guys, happy Sunday to you all. Any news about Husky? We'll be using their name on our shirts for the near future. Is the club got someone else lined up? At the moment, Husky is still our sponsor. Good evening, Dan. Dan joined us as well last night in Harry's bar. So, yeah, I think we'll start with David and let you two do it while I sort out this getting us live on LinkedIn on Instagram. So, yeah. Right. What do you your thoughts on yesterday's show then? Stephen. Anyway, good evening, Stephen. Good evening, Ben. They're joining us tonight. Fucking hell, I'm all over the place tonight. Stephen, tell us your thoughts on yesterday's show, mate.
I think you're still drunk, mate, because we didn't do a show yesterday. It was the game.
Yesterday's showing is in the Millwall playing. Don't start. Listen, you were brave yesterday, Stephen, and as I told you, there will be some comebacks for that. But don't worry, your dad knew all about it. So
brave.
You were brave, Ben. Ben, was he brave last night?
Well, I mean, I can't really say much about being brave, can I?
No, but some of the comments he was doing. So yeah, no worries, mate. It was just the fuck off the Palace bit that got me a bit. But Ben is a lovely bloke. Yeah, no, what he meant by that is that some of the people were sort of, I don't know. I think what he was saying is that, you know, there's some strings. So yeah, nice to catch a live stream instead of catching up on Spotify. Well, welcome, Aaron.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, right. You, Stephen, take care. I've got to do this. So yeah, do that.
Cool. So yesterday, first half was clear to see, I think, for everybody in the ground, why the team started off in 20th and 21st. It wasn't a good first half of football. Nothing happened, and both sides looked like they weren't going to score all night. Second half, better. I thought our goal pretty much summed up the game as well. A little bit of a scrappy finish from Norton Cuffy, who we'll touch on a bit later on as well, actually. But
hey, whoa! Our illustrious leader, is he there? No, he ain't got his camera on yet. I won't bring him on until he puts his camera on. There he is.
Hello.
God, Stephen, carry on.
Yeah, our goal summed up the game. Scrappy. We'll take any kind of goal, though, to be fair, at the moment, especially trying to win the game. And I thought we probably controlled it probably had the better of the chances, if you can say that, and a sucker punch at the end. Gutting for all us boys, gutting for, I'm sure, the viewers, everybody, or Millwall fans anyway, because I think against Sunderland, we kind of had our backs up against the wall and you always felt they may have scored. But yesterday, I just didn't think Huddersfield were going to get a goal and I thought we were going to win the game. So when the ref blew for a penalty, you just kind of knew, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, we'll touch on that in a minute because there's something else what happened after the game. What's a fucking liability, to be fair. And it sort of it doesn't follow in. Doesn't nah. Something else what happened. I'm not going to mention names because I don't think it is, because I believe that there is potential ongoing police dealings as such. But there was a player's dad last night who was allegedly assaulted outside the ground, and a couple of fans decided to give it to their dad, which I always find a strange one. If you're going to give it to a player, then give it to a player, but why go give it to their family? But hey ho, I think I don't necessarily agree with all that. If you got it with a player, then yeah, go give it to the player. But giving it to their old man just seems a bit fucking wrong to me. I don't know what you lot think. I think it was just.
What's the point? What's it get you?
It don't get you anywhere, to be fair. So yeah, I think it was a good. Look, the game was good. I think there was glimpses of bits and pieces within the game what give us hope going forward. I think Nesbitt and Bradshaw look good. Watmore looked good. Fleming, I think, doesn't. And obviously, I think he had the raving hump when he got taken off. But I think there was a few other bits and pieces. The young lad from Arsenal looks great. I mean, one for those of you listening who sort of you come up with all the old stuff. Can you name a better lone player we've had who's pretty much won more man of the matches? Because I don't think we could really think. Chris Wood, maybe, wouldn't it?
Chris Wood, yeah. That was my only one I could think of, maybe.
Norton Cuffey's the best loan signing we've had in at least the last 5 years.
Go on, Omar, you want to come in?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Last 5 years, I'm thinking, last 5 years is a good one. But no, I do agree with Stephen. I agree with all you boys. Like he's been brilliant, hasn't he? He's come in, and the thing is, it's like he's been the best of a bad bunch, but he has clearly got the talent and deserves to be, getting the plaudits. But yeah, it's not. You could turn up and look like you could pass a football and get man of the match in this side sometimes. At the minute, it's been a tough ride. But yeah, I obviously joined a bit late there, but I heard what Stephen said at the start, and yeah, yesterday's a bit of a sour one to take really, and it's just unfortunate. 2 home games in a row. We're struggling at then, and we've given away penalties towards the end of each game, and that one felt like a sucker punch yesterday, the worst of the lot.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think it felt a bit. It felt a bit painful, didn't it, to a degree? But I don't know, if you're honest with yourself, we saw it coming, didn't we?
I don't know.
We all sort of knew it was going to happen, didn't we?
I was kind of at the point where I felt like we'd weathered their sort of 10-minute spell just after the second half started. And I never felt like we normally do, where we know we're going to concede. It didn't feel like that to me yesterday.
No,
that's why it was worse, because it was out of nothing.
David's taking the piss for lone players.
I mean, there's a couple of comments in there that people are saying Harry Kane. Obviously, Kane was very good, but I mean, in recent years, Cresswell was another one that I saw was mentioned, but consistently. And I think Cresswell did have a bit of a tough start when he first joined us. I think consistently since Norton Cuffey's been there, he's been pretty good.
I think it's him. But look, I think yesterday's game, I think the first half, I think we agreed that the first half could try better. But I think once we got the goal, I think the team's confidence suddenly came together and they just looked a lot better. Am I wrong on that? I mean, anyone got a point on that?
No.
Go on, Stephen, you got.
I was just going to say, I thought the goal, just the general mood of the ground, it just seemed a little bit better. I still feel the Den was flat. I also, I've let one of the co-hosts off for a couple of weeks. We had a debate about Zian Fleming.
Jesus, here we go.
And he's now.
Anyway, where do you want to go from here?
I always, before we get onto that topic, you talk about the atmosphere at the Den and stuff, and we will talk about Fleming, and rightly so. He's been shit last few weeks. I'll happy to still say that as well. It was a bit nervous, I thought, first half. The tensions were there. I don't know what you guys thought. Obviously, we sit at South Lowell, Mickey, weren't we? And I mentioned it first half to you as well, with Sarkic when he's on the ball in particular. It felt like there was like a lot of anxiousness and nerves. Obviously, he's been poor last couple of games, made mistakes. And I'm like, I felt like that's a talking point where it's like, you can see, like, when he's got the ball at the back, there's a bit of pressure. He's obviously instructed to play out slower, try and look for the pass where possible. And then obviously in these sort of runs, you always notice it. The crowd suddenly gets more on these players. And I thought that was because I like Sarkic as a character. And I think he should hopefully be a good fit for us. And there's bright sparks, but you just think is that going to continue whilst this bad form's going on? And then is he going to rise to it, or is he going to fail like George Long did, for example? And there was definitely nerves and tension in that ground yesterday. I felt like.
We were worried, weren't we? A few times, weren't we? We were worried when he kept running out for the ball and trying to run with the ball.
Got lucky, didn't he, as well at one point? Yeah. I think he's got. I think it's hitting him. It's hitting him a bit. I think as well because. You can tell he's obviously a young lad. He's not really had a settled club. This is now, he's been signed for a fee, and it's understandable, I suppose, to have that pressure on you. But, you think about Mill goalkeepers to succeed in the past. I remember playing Huddersfield at home when David Ford first signed for us. He made a penalty in the last minute, and that was like his moment to win us over. And Sarkic hasn't really had that moment yet. He's been injured. He's been in and out of the team, and it's like, well, if you wanted to be here yesterday, there was a chance. Okay, it's just penalty. It's hard to save, but he needs that moment where it's got to change for him. I feel like.
Well. Didn't Fashionu's car get torched after a game with the old Den?
Allegedly.
I wouldn't be thinking, mate. So yeah. There's a question here in a second there. We looked better when Wallace and Fleming went off. What more should have started, not Fleming? And there was another one, Mike, the man who sits in front of Stephen. First half watch was painful. The second half was much better. But then we made changes using Fleming. Taking Fleming off, we were much better. He just looked a lack of confidence.
Didn't we concede the goal after Fleming went off? Just put that one out there.
But we looked a better team.
I'm joking. I'm not. No one take that seriously. Come on.
Omar will know this question. I reckon if anyone on the panel between, I don't know, maybe between three of them, but I think Omar will probably know. Have we ever had a last-minute penalty away from
Wednesday
home?
Away, I remember one. I remember it was a few years ago.
I've got
a few years
one
ago.
For that. I've actually got a video of it somewhere. Liam Trotter.
Reading away. Liam Trotter. Reading away.
Yeah.
A 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
I think actually the Sheffield Wednesday game, Sean Williams missed the penalty because I was being up there. He was in front of us, and then Maggie Gay scored the last-minute goal. Was in the yellow kit in Holloway. But we don't get many last-minute penalties in games. There must be some glaring obvious ones we're missing. Trying to think.
Oh, there was that. Wasn't there the game that Lee Gregory missed 2?
There you go. Birmingham away. Birmingham away. The boys have got it in the chat. Phobia.
Yeah.
Phobia at Birmingham. I was there for that at all. See, some of these you just get missed in these occasions. He had the nerve that one. Then he had the chance straight afterwards where he could have won it to win it 3-2. But yeah, I mean, we don't get many last minute penalties, but they're not common. But obviously for us, just sucker punch yesterday.
We don't get that many penalties. Full stop.
I think I saw a comment online where someone said if that was the other way around, then it was in front of the Copeland lane, and do we get the penalty? And it's like, if it's an interesting point. I mean. Do we think it was handball? Obviously, I've not seen too many close-up angles of it. It's back, but it's like he's kind of there and he goes to head it, doesn't he?
Actually, I think it just
because his hands up there. It's an unnatural position. It's why it's given. You can understand why.
He knows what he's doing as well. That's the thing. Like he's smart to think that he's trying to kid the ref anyway, and that's what he's doing in that situation. I think Savs is an experienced player. I think he knows what he's doing. I think the most disappointing thing is if he leaves it, there's 2 Huddersfield players that are actually offside. They just stood in front of Sarkic and hadn't got out of the box. So it ruled out if he'd have got a shot on target or if it had gone in or whatever. But going back to the first half, I think we spoke about it last night, Steve. It weren't great, but there was like the half chance moments where the ball get whipped in deep to Norton Cuffy and it just bounced off his shin or it come off his hip, or like Bradders, there was one that he was just half a yard away from that got whipped across the front of the goal, and it's like we haven't got any luck at the minute. It's just not dropping for us. We just need one to like the defender to scuff one that falls to Nisbet. Do you know what I mean? 6 yards out. We haven't had anything like that. I know you can take your own luck, but
we all agree that the first half was pretty shit. Not a lot really happened. Then obviously the second half and whatnot. But the one thing, obviously, where we're in the comments and we'll come to next is Brian, the Costa Coffee Penguin fucking promoter.
He made a return.
Omar, give us your thoughts on Brian.
You can see his quality, can't you? You know he's a good player. It's just getting him out on that pitch for 90 minutes and making him consistent with that. I thought he made a good day. I think obviously he sat at Watmore, didn't he, for his half chance where he kind of ran through onto it. And I liked Watmore as well. You know, I think Watmore's an impact. He's great off the bench, but you're thinking like, okay, we'll talk about Fleming in a minute, and that's going to come up, I'm sure, naturally. I think Watmore offers a lot more at the moment than what Fleming's putting on show. All right, Stephen, happy with that?
Yeah, sure. I've let you off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and but Brian, back to him. I mean, yeah, I think you can see there's a player in there that, you know, can turn around and he can, you know, be a difference on that left-hand side. We know it's been a weak link with Barry Wallace last few weeks. Okay, all season and last season too, I guess. Let's be honest. But I think he's definitely the option we need. It's just getting him out of the coffee shops and getting him on the pitch week in, week out. That's it.
No, that's it. Can we use? Can we employ a diving coach? Go on, Stephen.
Just on the point of Sav, I think what to touch on, he did really know what he was. Let's be honest. And when you look at it, he does kind of try and con the ref a little bit. But I also think his reaction to it, and when the full-time whistle went, I saw his reaction. And just looking at the players, I didn't see the aftermath. But Andy Myers and one of the other players were they went up to him because you could tell he was really, really disappointed with it. And I think we spoke on Friday about not having any leaders, or Sav was the only leader that we had in the squad. And I kind of feel like he's probably taken that a lot harder because, you know, taking the responsibility. There was a comment that was put in the group that said, don't blame Sav, we should have put the game to bed earlier. And it's probably true, but he'll go home thinking it's his fault that we haven't won the game.
Or 2 minutes before as well, he picked up the ball, right, and I think we won it on the edge of our box, and he made that run down the left-hand side and got a standing ovation, basically, didn't for getting us up the pitch at that point. So Sav was brilliant. I did notice it yesterday, probably more than I have done recently, just in terms of his organisation and actually being that leader more on the pitch. He was one who was kind of getting the boys to press, getting people up for it. He's got to be captain for me.
I think he will be. I think it's a matter of time. I think obviously Edwards' background was Chelsea, and he came through the academy, and I would have known George Saville on a personal level. And I think he's mentioned that in interviews as well. So he obviously identifies him as a player. I think he's out of contract at the end of the season, though. So it's interesting. What are we going to do about that? And that's obviously a topic for later in the season when we get towards it. But you know, there's players there that, you know, we've got so many midfielders in at the moment. But I agree, you can notice him being a bit more of a leader. And to be he's not one that I glaringly obviously think about when I talk about the team, because you're used to Hutcher and Cooper being there all the time and you don't really think about it. But Sav's definitely someone I think Edwards has identified as someone to come in and make a difference for him.
I think as well, Sav gave an interview, didn't he, about a month ago, where he said he'd love to stay. He was, you know, putting the noises out. It's obvious that the contract situation, he hasn't. I don't know if he's on the +1 or if it's literally just the end, but it's clearly something he's thinking about. And I think he's one of the players, again, probably a show for another time, that's of that age that I would definitely be keeping around.
100%.
Yeah, he's probably one out of the bunch that are out of contract that he'd be right at the top of my list to keep him on.
So I heard after the game, Dan's channel was down for a lot of the second half. I don't know. We were at the ground, watching the ground and taking the piss. So yeah, desperately need some pace in January. Also need to win ugly very soon to get confidence back amongst the players and fans. I yeah, I think that's a fucking given, and I think that's probably going to be a given, to be fair. But I agree with that. I think second half, once we got the goal, we just looked as if confidence was just oozing out of us. It just lifted the players, didn't it? It was like that belief of, fuck, we got a goal, we can go win this. And they were hungry. They just couldn't get a second one, but they were hungry for it. I mean, am I wrong on that? Do you think the confidence level suddenly increased there?
Yeah, it definitely did. So you can see there's noticeable impact of that, just the relief of scoring a goal, I think, and going ahead. And yeah, I think it helped that we was playing against a side. Okay, I don't think Huddersfield were great at all. I think they won 2 games under Darren Moore, haven't they, since he's gone in September? And that's why it hurt so much at the end. Like that was like a golden opportunity, because I tell you what, I think when QPR come, they look rejuvenated on their new manager, and they seem to be doing quite good stuff. And Stoke, obviously, did they win in the end today? Stoke?
No.
No. Yeah, so like, I think out of the 3 of them, I thought that yesterday was the one where it's not a banker, but the more likely to win. If you talk about percentages, I'd say that's probably 65-70 in our favour, whereas I'd say Stoke's probably 50-55 in our favour because we're at home. And then you look at QPR, and that's a derby, and it all goes out the window. So I think that was what hurt the most, and the confidence was there, and then we didn't look too much under pressure, and then bottled it at the end, really. But there definitely was a bit of confidence in that team once we went 1-0 up.
Just on the end as well, Cooper's made such a needless tackle. Like, he just didn't need to do that out wide. The geezer would have been facing the stands. He's got his back to goal. I just don't know why Coops has done.
This is my problem with Cooper at left side centre half as well, the back 3, because he's changed it, hasn't he, from Wednesday? Because Wednesday night was Harding left side centre half. He got booked. Cooper was in the middle, and I think Cooper actually looked quite good. I thought it was like, although he got booked, you got Cooper kind of in the heart of the 3, and then you got Leonard and Harding doing the legwork for him. But when you put Cooper on the left side, he's going to get caught out against players. Once they get past the wing back, if Joe Bryan commits on or Murray Rose commits on, Cooper's 1-on-1 then all of a sudden, and he's kind of more out to the left hand side. It's never been one of his strong points. But yeah, it was needless foul, but that's going to happen when you play Cooper in that position, I feel like.
On that as well, and funny enough, I was watching this the other day, come up on YouTube, against Leicester in the cup when we beat them at home, during that cup run. Cooper got caught out on the touchline on the left-hand side by the bloke who knocked it past him. He was already on a booking, and he absolutely clattered him when there was no real need to do it. So it is something, you're right, when he's not central, he's conscious of the fact that the players around him are probably quicker than him. And that's why he's taken the guy out yesterday. I mean, I don't agree with it. There was no need to do it whatsoever. And again, you don't make that foul and you just perhaps knock the ball out of play. You go on with 3 points. But as I said earlier, I think there's I think we probably could have put the game to bed way before the 96th minute or whatever it was.
100%.
Do it.
100%. Do you boys want to have any more on the game from yesterday? Any more points you want to talk about before we potentially start Armageddon?
The only one for me, mate, was how good Jack Vadoni was, and someone else that we'd missed out on signing. For anyone who didn't know who that was their number 8, the blonde fella, played in midfield. He just absolutely bossed it.
Philip Schofield. That's what we named him, didn't we? Okay.
He looked good defensively. He looked really sharp.
It's funny, mate. He got some shit, didn't he?
Just someone that we are absolutely fucking crying out for. And yeah, another one that's at AFC Wimbledon we were linked with. I say linked with. I don't know how obviously serious that rumour or bid was, but obviously he ended up at Huddersfield. But yeah, he was top draw, I thought.
That was his first game back as well, I think, for them. He was been injured the last couple of months.
On all the game previews, he said, it said that he was out. So I was surprised that he was even playing.
Yeah.
He also looked good in about 3 or 4 different positions because he didn't just play central. There was times he popped up out wide. There were sometimes he popped up behind the striker. He covered a lot of different areas, and everywhere he was moved, he was just able to adapt and cause us problems.
Yeah.
Good evening, Richard. I hear hats off to you because I believe you were there yesterday when the player's dad had the goings on after the game. So yeah. Good evening, Mr. Santa. DeSanta. Yeah. Is that a GTA? Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's Mike, isn't it? Or something.
Yeah, we got David. I've seen your question. I will put that to the panel in a minute. bunch of zombies. What, these guys? They're all right. They're not zombies. They look all right. Oh, it's team I think he's on about from his past ones there. Watmore is like Bury, a good impact sub, but won't give you 90 minutes.
I don't know if that's doing Watmore an injustice, I get the point, but Watmore pisses away for Bury,
Yeah, I think with that it's more the 90 minutes, isn't it? That's the problem. You either start him and you're gonna get a full on energy and effort for 60 minutes and he has to go off, or you replace tired legs with someone that might give you a little bit more. There's no in between.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Let's get through these. I say every week, fitness and concentration is poor. I think our fitness is still not up there yet. Do you? I think it's better, but I don't think it's there yet.
The intensity was there yesterday. It's just obviously the concentration. I'll definitely pick up on that one. I mean, we didn't get a booking yesterday. I feel like that's the first time in ages we ain't got a booking in a game. So
that's that tackle.
Yeah, no, he didn't book him. I was thinking that as well. I checked just to triple check because I was going to come in and say Cooper's on 7 bookings or something, but he's not. He's still on 6, Cooper, because he got one, didn't he, at Leicester after his 5-game 1-match ban. But yeah, I mean, don't know.
It wasn't that type of game though, was it? There weren't lots of.
I'm trying to think. I can't even really think of like another foul.
No, just
There's 2 yellow cards for
things.
Huddersfield. Redoni got 1 and Hogg got 1.
Oh yeah, Redoni's was actually quite a bad tackle. It looked like.
Northern migration. We'll get that. We'll come back to your question in a minute, and your sense why in a sec. So yeah, don't mind about the rest of the fans, but I don't recognise this club. And again, we'll come back to you in a minute because you fall in with the.
Just to say one thing,
Ben's Armageddon. So
one more thing about the game yesterday, but also just in a general sense, we need a result really quickly, and we need to be able to grind games out. It's stating the obvious, but these next 2 games are huge, mate. And it's like I'm just sitting there thinking, "Fuck!" Like I think one of the guys said, didn't they? They're fearing the worst or dreading it, and I'm the same. I fear it, and it's. I don't know who he's going to bring in January, but I think he's going to bring in some loan players that are going to try to make an impact from his contacts and stuff like that. But part of me feels like we need someone to come in and just shake this squad up from the get-go and kind of get the team in order. But who are you going to get in January?
Omar, you got double screens on?
No.
Have any of you got double screens on?
What's up? What do you want?
I have.
Right, do a search. Just while we're going into this, do a search on George Graham's first season and also Doherty's first season at Millwall, because I think the first season when Doc was there, we were pretty shit, and then obviously the second season we went on to win promotion.
Listen, it's not about being shit or not, though, Mickey. I know what angle you're going there.
I'm on about results.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because I saw a post last night that Lomas has exactly the same starting stats as Edwards.
It's like, but it's. The Championship's a beast. No matter what team you play every week, you're going to get a game, and this is the fact. And this is when you need these sort of characters in that side to make a difference. Okay, we went 1-0 up, and the players disappointed afterwards. But I thought we've got Championship know-how, but we need fresh players that have that same idea. I think because we're in trouble. I love that comment. That was top.
I think we're on trouble. I think we're bang on trouble with that.
I think the club's in big trouble with that one. Yeah.
I saw fans leaving yesterday on line bikes. Can't believe my mate. Really? So we've got, we've got Fulham fans coming now, do you know what I mean? So yeah. We've got the new fan base of Sebastian and fucking Tarquin.
On the back of your point there, Omar, about needing a result, needing a shake-up and those kind of things. We notoriously don't do good business in January. We've always struggled to do that. Do you think, and it falls on the back of one of the other comments, that do we send Longman and Campbell back in the hope that we can get someone better, or are they going to add to the loans and they will stay as part of our squad?
I think I'd keep Longman personally. I've not seen enough of him to say that he's merits a starting 11 place, but I think he's a good squad player. I think that's what he was called from when we signed him. Like all the previous fans of his clubs were like, he's a good utility player, but he's not good at anything else really. And you can see that in Longman. He can do a job in a lot of positions, it feels like, and he's got the technique on the ball and seems to do all right with it. But yeah, I think Campbell definitely needs to go back and we need to try and use the loan window, definitely. But this is what I'm saying though. Is there many players in the Premier League that are not getting a game at the likes of Luton and stuff that might do a job for us? I don't know. There's not many players that are available in January normally, and especially for a loan signing because they're already normally wrapped up by then. I think still Charlie Creswell. I'll keep banging the drum about that one. I want Charlie Creswell in, but I don't know if that's possible because
I think he's been rumoured to be going to Southampton.
Southampton, isn't it? For purchase, being sold to Southampton, isn't it?
Yeah, so
because Leeds aren't injured. If we come in for a bid for him, but whether or not, I don't think we got that sort of money. But if we could make a bid for him, possibly, then we might get him. Because I know Cresswell's dad is his agent, isn't it? And his dad's desperate to get him playing time because obviously it's going to ruin his England chances, isn't it?
Yeah, seems so.
So yeah, Dog's first season was poor. Crowds were crap. Football wasn't great, and we just stayed up. Now that I think is the same with George Graham. Again, with George Graham, and George Graham is probably most like Edward. Graham was a coach and a youth coach, I think, before coming into management. And then the first season, both of them were probably looked upon our fan base as superstar managers to a degree, aren't they? I'm not saying they're the same in any way before someone jumps on and do that. We're going to leave the bashing to Ben's comment in a bit rather than attack me as well. But yeah, what's a line bike? Oh yeah, Millwall holding to the older generation. Line bike is basically you have an app and you pay per 10 minutes.
Boris bike.
It's basically, it's like a Boris bike, but it's got an engine or it's got an electric motor. So you don't have to necessarily do all the pedaling as such. So yeah, I wish I was joking. They had yellow bubble hats and moustaches. My blood. Do you know what? There was a load in us, wasn't there? When we were in South Florida, there was a load there yesterday.
South Florida is a tourist central, mate.
Coming with their tickets. In the end, I was just telling people, listen, just sit wherever you want. If someone comes and gets you then you just move a bit, but just pick a seat.
South Florida is still on reserve seated. If anyone ever remember it being on reserve seated, so
Aaron started fresh. We'll get 3 points at Stoke and 3 points against QPR. That's just the roller coaster we're on.
I love the confidence, but I don't know where it's come from.
No,
that's because I listen. I was even when we went Leicester, the guys went Leicester, and I was like, look, we're not going to get a result there. Okay, we'll go 1-0 up. But I don't see where it's coming at the moment. Even yesterday, I wasn't confident. You don't know where it's going to come next, and that's the scary part at the minute. Unless you've got blind faith, which I normally do, but it just feels very gloomy at the moment. And I think we're missing a manager know-how as well a little bit. I don't want to. This is not me criticising Edwards because he's learning on the job, and we know what we're doing here. But Gary Rowett would have got something out of this team by now. I hated Rowett towards the end, and I wanted him out, and I'm happy he's gone. I'm not saying get him back. I'm not saying I criticise Edwards for that, but we need. Is it that kind of talk now where we go? Does Edwards need an experienced number two? But I hate that argument as well because what does that actually benefit? What does that actually bring? I don't know. But, you got Andy Miles in there with him, who used to be a player. You got Jonas, who's obviously under 18s youth coach. It's like, where's that know-how from a manager that's going to get this team to get set up properly?
On that, and again, I'm not bashing Edwards at all. I'm not blaming him necessarily for what's going on at the minute, but the comment before the game where the club obviously allowed Kiro.
We'll come to that in a minute, man. We'll come to that.
Well, it's just on the topic of manager know-how, but the comments before the game put pressure on Joe Edwards after the game. It was unnecessary pressure. It's little bits like that. Does he really need that after we've just let a 96-minute go in?
What I want to know is who released the information beforehand. So where did the information come from? Was that through the press guys at the club, or was that through Edwards? Ideally, I would have probably thought it was from the press because Edwards would have been tied up with a game or the Friday night, possibly. I don't know, unless there was a phone call. But it was definitely cleared to be published, and then it was told. It was before that. We'll find out about it after the game. There'll be an announcement after the game. You don't say there's going to be an announcement after the game to suddenly go, he's not match fit, and also he's playing an under-21s game and thing. The fact that Rich has come out saying he's playing an under-21 games on Monday doesn't work out. There's lots of rumours flying around. Is he going to Arsenal? Is he going to thing? You know what? If he wants to go Arsenal, let him go Arsenal. And we'll have the Cuffy in reverse plus some money. That would do, mate. Do you know what I mean? I did say allegedly. I said if before anyone starts clipping and going, "Oh, he said," didn't.
I don't know if I know we're going to go on to the other topic in a minute of someone's being a wally on Twitter and give it a big one. But aside from that, with Esse, if Edwards thinks he's good enough, he's playing though, and I don't think it's come from above because he wouldn't play a 21s game either, would he?
No.
I think I can only put it down to in my head. Okay, he's not got the chance, but then maybe Edwards has come in and seen I don't rate him, and if that's the case. He's going to live and die by that sword because we're not getting results and he's refusing to put him in. That's it. It's his decision, isn't it? I feel like that's got to be it. I don't know.
It has to be that he's not up to it. Because if he was, and he's saying, this is a star player what's been rated and all this lot, then he would have been done. But the fact that Barrett didn't rate him, Barrett didn't play him, Rowett didn't play him, you sort of like question. The rumour was that he only signed a contract because they thought they were going to lose him out. Whether or not that was true or not, I don't know. But again, it sort of makes you think that if playing him potentially shows him up that he ain't as great as he was, or is allegedly, then no club's going to want to necessarily want to buy him, are they? So yeah, don't know.
But in the last 3 games, and under Joe Edwards, Romain Esse has only played a handful of minutes. It was at Sheffield Wednesday. I understand if he doesn't think he's good enough, like what we discussed with Adam Malachi, that's absolutely fine. But he has tried so many combinations, he's made so many changes, and he's the only one that's not got an opportunity. It's not like the players that are playing in front of him are grabbing it with both hands. You could argue maybe Duncan Watmore is looking all right, but I don't understand what's the worst that can happen in a game, i.e. at Cardiff. You're 1-0 down. What's the worst that can happen by putting him on? Really, I don't know.
I don't know. So there's a comment coming up in a sec. Hang on. Dan Riggs says, I've heard Esse and Zian to Fleming in January. Any knowledge on this? I've not seen anything. I've not been really on socials today, mate. I've been recovering.
I can't see him. I don't know. I can't. Could they both go? I could see both of them at Burnley. And Zian, I don't think he'd be worth 15 million now, though. There you go.
No, here we go. Ready? You ready for this comment?
No chance.
Okay, choice for you. Do you go with Lime or do you go with a Boris bike? I've used both, and I think Limes are not bad. Limes save you pedaling as much as you want to. But there is another one which is better.
Isn't there? I saw Mill holding his last comment there about. Isn't there an under-18s game at the Den soon? FA Cup, Youth Cup. Anyone seen that? I'm sure there is. I don't know if there's someone at home. It was a shit.
No, there was. We played Barking
at home. Did we
play Barking last week?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're into the next round. So yeah.
Shows how much I pay attention to the under-18s.
Yeah, that's okay. This Edwards blind optimism and faith is baffling. I don't think it's blind optimism. I think it's just. I think we go into that in a little bit. I think it's just what we're left with, mate. I don't think there's any other option. There is a comment there. Where is it? Just there. Before we move on, Rowett got out at the right time. We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, Omar? That I was saying that I think, and we were both saying that I think he basically, I reckon he knew about the potentials with Husky, some other bits and pieces, potentially no money in January, and knew in which way it was going to go. And if you watch, Rowett normally always tries to get out of clubs before it affects his reputation. He's never taken the club down, has he?
No.
So, it's like, okay, so whether or not he jumped at the right time or allegedly consensual, it was a mutual agreement. But yeah, he got out at the right time. So
just from a personal, I don't want to keep talking about him, but he would have struggled to find probably the desire to want to do it again after last year. With rebuilding, he was doing a rebuild job pretty much every 12 months, wasn't he? With loan players, players out of contract. It was just a consistent cycle of signing new players all the time, letting players go. I would say the only thing with Rowett is there's never a project there, I would say. It's kind of a win now, get to where you want to be now mentality with Rowett. And he's been, out of all his clubs he's been at.
No, that's it. There you go. One for you there, Ben. Anthony's going to Grimsby away in the under-18s if you fancy it.
Yeah, Grimsby. I don't know where Grimsby is.
It's right over on the East Coast, mate.
Yeah.
And also, it's probably a place just a little bit worse than Manchester, mate.
Yeah,
and it stinks of fish. I don't know if it still does, but it used to have like all the fish used to come in there. So
yeah, it's over there. I thought it was over there.
Emma Hayes. Can you imagine Emma Hayes being a Mill manager? I think I'll stop going out of principle just because I think she's an annoying twat. But
so yeah, do you think SA is a decent deal done for Jan, which is why he ain't playing? Don't know. Maybe we're waiting to see on that one. Let's crack through these comments. See if it's any. I think that's it. We're there. Right. Oh no. Yeah. Hang on. Grimsby, worst place on the planet. Yeah. All the players good enough. Are the players good enough for the championship anymore? That's a good question. And one more. Definitely Omar will get into it. And I think both the three of you, but Omar will go. But yeah, are the players good enough for the championship? We only almost got to the playoffs because of Bradshaw, Fleming, and Creswell last season.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, moments of genius, wasn't it? That got us through games, I suppose, at times when we needed it. But I think, are they good enough anymore in the championship? That's what I was saying. I think we've got a championship know-how, but they're not doing the job anymore. So is it they pass their best? Well, it's state the obvious when some of their ages, but yeah, they're probably not, to be honest.
The best way to
on that way, I would say, rather we haven't got too many on an upward curve now.
The best way to look at it, look at Sunderland and Coventry, the two teams that come to us before yesterday, the last two teams that come to the Den, I think. How many of our players would get into their first team? Realistically.
You say Sunderland and Coventry. I would argue pretty much every club in the league outside of Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah. There ain't many.
No, but that's it. That's what. But just on those two games alone, clubs that we were in and around them last year, competing for the playoffs, for most of the season. Now, how many of our players get into their teams? I don't think. To be honest with you, I don't think any of them. You could argue where he has a good game. Leonard has been good, and Sav has been good, but would they get into those sides? I don't know.
Mill Holdings, by the way, says fish and chips in Grimsby with peas is £3. He saw it on a YouTube channel. He says where he lives, it's £3 just for the peas.
They're sponsored by the fish company, aren't they? Is it? Which one is it called? The big fish brand? Come on, someone's gonna get it without checking. No.
I don't see the sponsor on the shirt, the red one.
Yeah. I can't remember who it is. But no, I want to go on to the next point there, Mickey. I know you started them, but the identity.
I was coming into that because I thought we'd find in with Ben's question.
Too many Northerners, I think.
Yeah, I mean, right. Let's go into Ben's one. So Ben's Twitter is on private. Who threw him under the bus? Well, he wasn't really thrown under the bus. I did it, but I did do it with talking to Ben first. So I will read out Ben's comment, and then Ben can then tell you exactly what he meant and how many people have completely and utterly misunderstood the point. Yeah, Ben, you're happy with that?
Yeah, it's fine, mate. Yeah.
So Ben wrote, and final little whinge about the game. People saying it's a chore. People saying we're shit. People just don't want to come. Fuck off to Charlton then. We aren't fucking Chelsea or Man United, so deal with it. If you ain't bothered when we're shit or when we're shite, don't bother when we're good.
It would have been quite good if you had a graphic on the screen of that whilst we read that out there, Mickey, but never mind.
Yeah, we could have done that. But yeah, just to add some context to it.
It's nice to have a producer was fucking thinking. Go on, fella. I'll fucking... No worries, mate.
Go on, Ben. You're crap, mate. Whilst he does that, I was just thinking out of the box a little bit there, mate.
I could have done it, mate, if I didn't have to fucking run two screens at once. You know what I mean? That's all right. You know, you just off you go. I'll tell you what.
This is a big fucking nibble, by the way. Big fucking nibble. He's dropped himself off as well. He's staying so obscene. I can see him in the background. Go on, Ben. Tell your story, mate.
Yeah, just to add a bit of context to it. So as I was walking out yesterday, walking down the stairs, a lot of people have seen this directed at people that just want to have an opinion and want to have a moan, and absolutely everyone is right to be able to do that. If we're sitting here on a podcast, it'd be very fucking pot kettle of me to say I'm not allowed an opinion or you can't have an opinion on the situation. We were walking down the steps yesterday, and let's just say it's a younger generation of Millwall fans now that basically had said, I'm not fucking coming whilst that Chelsea prick is in charge. And I just thought, what? Like, I don't understand that. It doesn't compute with me. If you only want to come down here to see us win all the time, you as I said, you're supporting the wrong club. And it ain't just what I heard at the ground. That was a very one isolated incident. But then I go on Twitter and you see still people moaning about it and all that sort of thing. So all it was that being a Millwall fan's a bit more. It's not just about going and watch the football, right? I said it at the top of the call earlier. We were all gutted, we were all disappointed in the result, but we had a great day yesterday. It's about going down there, seeing family, seeing friends, and ultimately, it's don't be like the rest of the fucking clubs in the Football League, in the country. Just, we are unique. Let's keep that uniqueness. Don't get on a bandwagon just because we're struggling a bit. And as I said, if you're expecting us to win 5-0 every week, you're supporting the wrong club. There'll be people, Chris just pulling him out because we had obviously a back and forth because he follows me. It wasn't directed at people that have been going 25, 30, 40 years because they have seen more ups and downs than I'll probably ever likely to see. But we've been in a very fortunate position in recent years in terms of what I've seen as my Millwall life. So let's just that we are struggling, but let's all try and pull in the same direction. I know it's hard, but yeah, let's just try and not cunt the players off every week, not cunt Edwards off every week, and not chase people's mum and dad or whatever in the car park. I know it's a Millwall thing to do, but yeah, let's just try and keep that uniqueness is probably what I was getting at. And Sam T's comments pretty much summed it up for me.
And so onto Sam T's, because no doubt we're going to get loads of people coming in with the comments. So, you know, coming into Sam T's is he's commented a few I've starred, so we'll come back to a few of his in a minute. But that one there, is the Millwall identity dead?
Yes.
I would say dead. It's not like it used to be. Nowhere near like it used to be.
I tell you what. At Leicester in the week, and for those that are in the comments that were there, when Tom Bradshaw scored, that away end was like an away end of old. It was unreal. The fans went nuts. The Leicester supporters were right close to us, sort of literally just next to us. They all went quiet. It was absolutely brilliant. It felt like an old away day. But that's 1 in 20 games this season where the fans have really, you know, we were backs against the wall, and everybody knew we were backs against the wall. But they backed the team. They sung the songs. They've supported the players. They give them everything that they could. We just don't have that anymore. We just don't. It's not there. And I think, Omar, you said yesterday, every time the ball is at Sarkic's feet, everyone around the ground is literally like this, thinking, just get rid of it, because it's not right. But
that's not Millwall identity, is it? This is it. So what is Millwall identity? Is it the whole? This is what Harris done, and let's be honest, it was League One at the time. We got to the Championship. It's 4-4-2, 2 wingers, 2 strikers. Go for it and have a go. That's football sense. And then the Millwall identity off the pitch as well is that whole kind of us against the world sort of thing. A lot of people nowadays want to try and get Millwall to be like this thing that's like, you know, it's part of the group. No, we're not. We're in our own corner over here. We're going to do what we're going to do because that's what Millwall is, and that's what when you talk about away games, I prefer away games to then and over then every day of the week, because you know when you go to the away game, you've got 1,000 other people there at push. Let's be honest, most weeks, but everyone there is the same person as you who's gone to work, done their job, and then now they're coming out on the Saturday to let off some steam and fucking have it, and let's see what happens on that day. And I think that the problem you've got is the den is changing, and obviously we are in a catchment area where the club can then try to bring more revenue in, and we praise them for doing that at the same time. But the identity in that sense is dwindling a bit at the den, and that is going. But then that's the world we live in. And if we went to the Premier League, you know, like then, I don't know what would happen to Mill. I'd only want one season. You know, it's the club. I think it is changing as time goes on a little bit, but that's just unfortunate nature of how it goes. It feels like I don't know how you stop that without causing, I don't know, without blowing up Ilderson Road again like we did 20 years ago for Birmingham. What can you do?
Do you think, and Ben, to touch on what obviously your comment in the tweet, do you think that because the way football is now and everybody wants success right away, the managers chop and change left, right, and centre. I think the first manager lost their job maybe even in it might have even been in August. Do you just think that fans now, as you say, the younger generation are looking at that and going, well, we've got rid of we want Rowett out, we've got Edwards in, and now it's not working. They're just doing the same thing because they see every other club do that.
That's what I mean, mate. And it's just, that's right. Probably did hound Rowett out in a way. We all got to that point, but that's fair enough. He was here for 4 years. Joey's been charged for 7 games, and it's just like the young manager. I get it. You can have an opinion on whether we think he's the right man or the wrong man, and again, everyone is entitled to their opinion. But he's the man who's in charge of our football club. Let's just try and get behind the geezer. Let's just try and get. Just the negativity at the moment is like I've never experienced. I know we're struggling. I know it's just a bad patch, right? But the negativity is like I've never experienced with us. Maybe I notice it more now, but we do more of this and we see other people's comments. And
it's social media and it's changing. It is that. And also it's like we live in the modern day world where we clip videos and then we send we do certain catchphrases or certain things. And also I think it's just how it is now. That's the way it's going. You're never going to get away from that.
No, and I think let's be a little bit honest. Listen, there is a lot of people, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily us. I think we are what we are. We're happy with the people we get each week listening to us and all that. But there are people out there, and I'm not saying other channels with Millwall channels. I'm saying as a general, there's a lot of people out there who want social fame, likes, tweets, retweets, everything else, and they aim to be as controversial as possible some of the time. So I know we have a little bit of a laugh, like the show we did midweek with me and Omar, where I said, the leaders are Danny Mack and Billy Mitchell, and we got loads of people commenting saying, "Fucking League One this." Yeah, I did, yeah, and I do it a bit, and you know what I do, you know that thing. But what you won't get with us, I think, is in March of this year, us rating a player, and then now we're slagging them off. I think that you'll find that realistically there'll be a consistency through. We had concerns with him then, and we still had concerns with him now. I don't think anything we do is extremely controversial. I think our views are pretty much the majority of most of your views, like most of you guys who watch us. I think we just air it in a way. We're not there for
club no grey area in that tweet,
player. What's that?
I say there's no grey area in that tweet. It was an emotional, pissed off tweet that. Listen, I'm not. All right, we're going a bit on full screen now.
Congratulations, Mickey.
Yeah. More pelters now. I better get the hard hat out again. Chris, turn the screen off. Well, you obviously didn't agree with it. Cool. I
was taking the piss out of you, mate. I was taking the piss, mate. He was
just wanted the pile on. That's what he wanted.
I was having a laugh, mate, because I get your point completely. But what I will say to challenge it a bit, and because it's not just you don't really said it in there.
For discussion.
Yeah, because you weren't like things you said there are 100% spot on, but then some of the other things you say where we'll get behind Edwards, he's not exempt to criticism. So albeit it's 7 games in, and I'm the same as you, and I'm positive about how it goes, but he's not exempt. We're allowed to. Everyone is allowed to have their opinion, I suppose. There is a line to it, and I know you agree with that, and I know that's why. But even some of the things we say where it's like. He's done shit in his first 7 games. There's no way of hiding from that, and then he's going to get stick for it, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Actually,
that's it. But
on that, do you think he's actually had a performance increase or a better performance between his first game and game 7? Do you think there has been a slight change, or do you think that pretty much it's the same as what it was then to what it is now?
It's hard to spot the changes when you're seeing a team lose week in, week out, I suppose. But, he's got ideas because we saw it the first game when he was in charge. But then we seem to have fallen away from that because now we want to look back of a losing run. That's why he's got to hold his nerve and try and stick to what he's doing, I suppose. And that's what and I don't disagree with what you said, but like I said, but I think there is people that will have their opinions on that, I suppose. And that's...
Yeah, and so I got some criticism for it, and probably rightly so, but it wasn't angled at people that don't want to come. Again, I'm only using Chris because we had a conversation, right? And he's been going 30 years or whatever. And there are times where you go, look, I says, I don't want to go. But my point was that there's a song that we all sing before the players come out, and it's about gun, rain or shine, right? Let's just remember that at times. That was my opinion. And Chris is well entitled to go, I've seen more than you have and I ever will. So, and I understand it. And it wasn't me moaning about people moaning, because we do a YouTube channel and we moan about performances and players. It was more just the negativity at the minute. And so maybe it is because we do this now. So we see the comments, we hear people talk to us a bit more, see more on social media. For me, it's just, we're in a bad place. We're struggling. It's nothing new being a Millwall fan. Let's just try and get a bit more positive.
You are right with that one, because I've been supporting Millwall solidly 20 years, and in that time I've seen us relegated twice and promoted twice, and it's been the same leagues: League One, Championship, League One, Championship. To be honest with you, and this is like, people will probably think I'm stupid for saying this, but I've had 6-7 years now of going to every single Championship away ground exactly the same time. I'm almost looking for that League One away day now. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I follow this lot no matter what the result, and obviously I want us to go higher and higher, and I want us to succeed, but it's just part and parcel of being a Millwall fan. We don't choose. I didn't choose to be a Millwall fan. I was forced into being a Millwall fan, and I'm still a Millwall fan now. And if I have a kid one day, they're not going to choose to be a Millwall fan. They're going to support Millwall because I support Millwall, and that's you're there for the ride, and that is the roller coaster of being a Millwall fan, which is why you're bang over your comments. But it's changing though, isn't it? It's because media and social media and everything online.
That was more what I was trying to get across. It wasn't at all me moaning about our existing fan base again, who have been going a long time. I wasn't directing it at that. It was, as Sam T said, saying it's a changing ground now, for the good, for the worse. We could argue that, for the benefit of the club commercially, again, whatever we could argue it.
We had a good comment. Let's see what people's thoughts are on a comment will come in, and I'm not going to put it up. I'm not going to name who it is. You can see it on the thread anyway. So, in reply to Ben's comment, he's 100% right. Too many fans have turned into entitled, clueless fuckwits. If we don't win every game 5-0, then every player and a manager is a cunt. Charlton wouldn't have some of our fans. That's how muggy and embarrassing we have become. Whatever happened to come rain or shine.
Yeah. I think also, though, a bit of context to this is we've had 4 years of riot football where we're used to being depressed, and I think it's doom and gloom. And we're looking for that change. And that's not disrespecting Riot, because Riot done a good job for us overall, and you can't dispute that. But we're used to seeing just boring football. And then Edwards has come in and, and it's excitement, but it's just not happened. It's not happened yet. And hopefully it does happen. But I think the criticism is quick to come at the minute, because we've had 4 years of, and especially this last year, the Den is not a nice place to go at the minute for us.
Is Sam right there? Look at Sam's one there. It isn't Millwall versus the world anymore. The club treat the fans with contempt. They want us all on line bikes on a weekend break from Holland. I mean,
I think that's
there is more and more.
You would know what the club want to take us in a direction. The fans probably want us to still be Millwall versus the world.
Oh, they don't listen. There is no way in a million years that the club want that. They would want that reputation for a PR purpose, but as in real life for less grief, they don't want that. No. They want nice, easy going in the media for good reasons about the football, rather than the fact that someone's lobbed a Coke bottle at the referee in the 87th minute or something like that, where there's potential fines and that sort of stuff. But
I mean, we were talking last night. Obviously,
you're not going to get
quite a few. Hold on, we also need to do this whilst I just remember that. After quite a few Cruz Campos, Stephen's dad and I were having a conversation. I said, everyone will remember this. We got beat by Watford 5-0, and someone chased Lloyd Doyley around the pitch for about 20 minutes, and it was like a Benny Hill sketch. And it was just, and I'm saying, look, that's not. I'm not. But we almost need that back a little bit. Like, would the ref have given that if we'd have coated him for 90 minutes like we used to?
Do you remember when Will Hughes also got chased around the pitch when he was losing 6-1 to Derby? Do you remember that? There's a couple.
Also, didn't the Derby radio car get tipped upside down?
Yeah, I remember seeing throwing bottles on the pitch. I remember seeing a tramway away, someone throwing a burger at the goalkeeper. You're right, like, it has changed. Millwall has changed, but that's how it is. But these are the funny things you just remember the quote.
I'm not saying that it's sorry, Stephen. I'm not saying that it's right to lob bottles on the pitch. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that fans were scared of going to Millwall. When there was an away day coming up to Millwall, fans were scared. For fuck's sake, for the last 20 years, they've had a fucking cage from the station. So that sort of hampered it to a bit. And then those fans who are brave enough to make the journey, okay, it is. But there isn't that fear now of coming to Millwall what there used to be. Whatever that's for, I don't know. Is that this? I mean, listen, do a search on YouTube and find how many other people are doing vlogs and all that lot who come to our ground, where they will put in the title, kicked off big time second half, or, you know, hooligans attack and all this, just for the fucking hits. So it's, you know, it's still there for the media side of it, but in reality, Millwall isn't nasty anymore, is it?
Do you think, though, there's 2 points of what you boys have been saying, talking about changes and things changing. Joe Edwards has inherited Gary Rowett's squad.
Yeah, massively.
We went to Sheffield Wednesday. Omar, Ben, we were there and watched us play probably the best we've played in years. And one, do you think that was probably the worst thing that actually could have happened for Joe Edwards? Because from there to now, it's a completely different atmosphere. And in terms of the changes with what the club are trying to do, I've been going now 30, this is my 29th year, I think. And I remember Birmingham in the playoffs when they scored that late goal when there was riots all around London. You know, I was only a kid.
It weren't all around London. It was all around the Den.
Yeah, but to me as a kid, it felt like it was all around London because that's all I could see. I'm not, none of us want everyone to be kicking off left, right, and centre, but it is different. You go to games and you turn up at the ground and you walk around, and there was a comment I think Big E said, we're lucky to know each. We've got a lot of friends at the club, but so many times now, someone different sits next to you every week, or behind you, or around you.
In the south, haven't we?
It's a different. It's just different. Like you do see the same faces, and there are people that I talk to regularly at every home game, and we've sat there for a long time. But there are different people that just turn up all the time, and the club do market more to the international market. Do we need the money? Yes, we do. But ultimately, is it going to kill us? Because if we go down, and I don't want to be thinking that we're going down, because you have to keep the faith. I agree 100% with what Ben said. We need the players, and Edwards need us more than ever. We've got to be united. You can't be split from the squad to the fans. It has to be pulling in the same direction. But if we go down, you're not going to get the day trippers or the scarfers, whatever you want to call them, from Holland and Germany. You are going to go back to having attendances of about 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 or whatever it is. And you're going to be against teams that do in League One, your Bolton, Portsmouth, other clubs that get big crowds. You ain't going to be. We'll be in League One for a long, long time if we go down this season.
Oh, here's one for you then. Sorry, Ben. Just on that point where you put there, Stephen. Do you think the fact that we're buying continental players is part of the strategy to attract more overseas fans? Or is it just literally that it's cheaper?
I don't think that Rowett and whoever, Aldo, whatever, went out to Holland and thought, right, we're going to get a load of Dutch fans come over to watch us now because we've got Zian Fleming. I don't think that necessarily was part of the strategy. However, they have seen the popularity in those markets, and perhaps it is something that they're considering. Let's face it, I know it's probably a really massive coincidence, but I couldn't help but think this. Our third kit this year is bright orange. What international team happened to play in orange? It's Holland. Fleming did all the marketing for it. I would imagine that lots of people from Holland, maybe if they've got an interest in him, would buy one. So I might be putting two together and getting 5. But it just looks like we're marketing ourselves for the wider audience rather than the people that have been going for 10, 20, 25 years that have put a lot of effort and time into going and are seeing the club that they're used to and have grown up with change.
Go on, Ben. So you wanted to say, mate, and then we'll come to this question.
It was just on Stephen's point, just about actually getting relegated. And again, we spoke about it last night, that we need this year's very important. We got that extra £10 million coming from the filter down from the Premier League. So not only is it obviously important to stay in the league anyway, because we don't want to be against those bigger League One clubs. League One have a salary cap as well now, don't forget. I know you'd have a couple of years
to sort of
being relegated. I think they do, don't they?
No, I think it's come out now.
Oh, is it out now?
Yeah, I don't think it's in there anymore.
Okay.
Get full manager up and check quick.
Yeah, but yeah, either way, the £10 million that we would potentially get from the restructuring, that's completely game changing for us. And I know every other club in the league will also get that, but it will allow us to maybe go and look at those lower league players a bit more.
It's League One and League Two salary cap scrapped after appeal by Players Union. The English Football League plans to negotiate a cost-saving solution with the Players Union after being forced to abandon its controversial salary cap in League One and League Two.
Well done,
I think there was a little bit of a problem there, isn't there? Because there's only so many players that can play in the Premier League squads and then the Championship squads. And then if League One and League Two can't afford to pay a higher salary, what happens to those? That's why I think.
Well, the reason the Players Union got involved was that if you remember, not long ago, a couple of years ago, when this was saying that they wanted to get this out because this come in and then it was taken out. Was that you were having decent players suddenly playing in lower league because there was no rules in lower league, so you could have someone like Bromley paying £8,000 a week for a player.
Well, Paul Mullin would be a prime example, right? I think, what was he on, 12 grand in the National League, what it was?
Mm-hmm. I love some of these comments coming in from some of these people, by the way. The Richard Lacey one in particular put a bit of laugh into me. I mean, look, we just need a result, and then we'll be talking positively again. Look how we was after Sheffield Wednesday. We partying on to the early hours. We need a result, and it will change. But yesterday changed it.
I read it the tweet and say Palace instead of Charlton.
Do you honestly on that, Omar? Honestly,
I can't see a result coming. I can't. If you could ask me that.
No. If we get a result at Stoke next week, which I'm with you, I don't know. I think that's going to be quite tricky. But if we get a result at Stoke, will that really turn around the season? Can we back it up again against QPR?
Just before you answer that, Omar, I thought yesterday, Stephen, was more important because it was a home game. We need to get home hoodoo off our back.
Yes,
that's true, and I agree with you there. I do think we do. Yeah, I think we win Saturday. It's not going to change our season. I'm not that naive to say that, but it will give that sense of relief because we can't buy a win for love nor money. We can't. Was it 6th without a win now? And it's a rut, and you need to get out of it quickly. Law of averages says you will, but I don't think even what's the longest route without a win? Was it 5? I think Joe's has already beat him, hasn't he, in 2 months? I don't want to start saying that and criticising him for that reason, but this is it. Like, this is why I can't exempt him for criticism because he's overseeing the ship at the minute, albeit Rowett's players, Rowett's, kind of philosophy still in place there, really. But this man is, the answer for us, and we're hoping he's going to be the saviour. But he's currently overseeing one of our worst forms that we've seen in 4, 5, 6 years.
But I just think on that, I mean, there does need to be a little bit of perspective in the sense of it.
Oh, of course.
It's not his side. We've got the oldest squad in the league, haven't we? I think that's right.
Yeah,
but Ben, if we brought Neil Warnock in, he would have got a result in the last 6 games. I'm not saying Warnock was the answer either, but he needs to do something to change it. He needs to get a result.
You get that.
But then go, look, Chris Moan said, people moan, which is great. We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, Ben? We were talking about this last night. People moan about our old reputation for causing trouble, and now it seems everyone wants that reputation back. I don't know if we want that reputation back, but with that reputation, there's a hell of a lot of unknown with it. It's not that you go to Millwall, you're guaranteed to get your head kicked in. It's the fact that going to Millwall, you don't know if you are going to get your head kicked in, which then increases fear, which then increases, that question. That question. I mean, the whole thing with Leicester just shows you really the way that football is that, we won't be taking a coach there for the FA Cup because we had coaches smashed up, so we won't do it again. So what you're doing is basically we won't put coaches on, but we'll make our fans just basically go. No doubt South Bermondsey will be shut and there'll be a police escort from fucking Surrey Keys, maybe. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, well, you can't...
Mickey,
you can't really win. So
not to blow up the chat too much, but Pie Mash has creeped into the comment section in the last few comments. I know we're talking about Millwall, but we've banged the drum for a while about the atmosphere. But I don't know if you want to voice some opinion.
Oh, I will in a minute. Let me just shoot through these. Where is it? Gary Rowett, yeah, but now you get decent pie mashers and decent sausages. Do you get decent pie mash at fucking? I've not eaten pie mash at the ground.
You got the man. They're Stunned by Manzies, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, they've got their own stand now. Yeah, I'll have to try it there. Right. Let me just go through these comments for me. Can you someone click through these comments so we can just at least get them up where I am there? I will tell you the story of yesterday. I come into London Bridge yesterday, right? And Omar's like, oh yeah, I'm out and about. I'll pick you up. I'm like, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'll get over to Bermondsey and we'll go to Tower Bridge. And he's like, yeah. No, I'll pick you up. So he picks me up and he says, yeah, I ain't been for pie and mash yet. We'll go pie and mash now. I was like, yeah, sweet. He went, we're going.
Where were we going, Mickey? Come on.
Anyway, right. I said, where are we going then? He went, we're going to Armett's. I'd rather called it fucking crap place, but
we're going to blow this chat up in a minute. I'm pretty sure, mate.
Anyway, we went to Armett's. Armett's.
Armett's
in fucking off Walworth Road, right?
Yeah.
And we went in there for pie and mash, and I'm like, fucking hell, so double. Sitting down, can I have a can of Coke? They don't do Coke, so there's already the first fucking
Pepsi,
mistake. They do Pepsi. Yeah, well, Pepsi's fucking shit.
Who has a Coke? You got to have Dr. Pepper or Fanta when you go pie and mash, by the way.
You do, mate. Yeah. We have Fanta, but I like a Coke as well. With if they don't have thing, you couldn't see what fucking drinks I had anyway. So I had pie and mash, and it was the first time. Loads of liquor, pie, mash, loads of liquor. Right? Omar had extra liquor with his own little fucking dog bowl.
I had 3 pies, 1 mash. Thank you. It was lovely.
Yeah, 3 pies, 1 mash. Yeah. I left part of mine because I'm sorry, but the pies were fucking dog shit, mate. My dog eats better in her dog food, mate. Do you know what I mean? Mate, I'm sorry, but the pies were dry. There was also a weird smell. I don't know if it was coming from the pie or if it was just in the shop. But yeah, you know what? Omar forced me into going to it, and yet I will never in a million years be going back. I'm sorry. If you watch the show, Armett's, those who like your food,
Mr. Nate here, mate. There's going to be one coming
more than happy to it. But I'm a Manzies. Yeah, I'll go Tower Bridge Manzies all the time. But obviously, the Peckham one is supposed to be the better one, which we would do a showing now. I think on the next home game we'll go to Peckham one. But mate, I can't be eating Armett's, and I'm sorry, but if you're from Walworth Road side of the Old Kent Road, fuck me. No wonder you're all a bit fucking crazy. Do you know what I mean? Because you've been eating that.
Come on then, chat. Let's have it. Is it Goddard's? Is it Manzies? Is it Armett's? Or if you're in the east, if by any chance, if you've got a pie mash,
if you're from West, if you know pie and mash, then as I was saying yesterday, that cookies over at West London used to do a good bit of pie and mash, but it's got to be Manzies. No one's really going to get in and say, it's. Do you know what I mean?
Stephen and Ben, what's your preference on pie and mash?
You saw my sister in the group yesterday, but obviously for the people who aren't a party to the group, we went to Manzies. Me and the old man will always be Manzies.
Stephen?
I'm going to take Ben's Gladiator Spartacus title here because I do not eat pie.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Head's gone. What's the meme? Is this Neil Warnock when he goes like that?
That's it.
That's it. Close the show down. We're done. We're out of it. The game's gone.
My dad will. It probably pains him because he absolutely loves it. He would be better to answer this question.
I did say something you never had.
Dean, don't worry, mate. Next home game, mate, just come pie and mash with us. But we won't be going to Armett's. Fucking that's not going to be happening.
It's a close one between the two for me, personally.
This will be my last appearance on that Millwall podcast, based on the pie and mash debate. So it's been lovely knowing you all. And that'll be me done, I think, based on that.
It makes perfect sense, Steve.
Yeah, what's the reasoning behind it? Just don't like it, or
I'll talk off camera.
Deflecting attention away from me.
Bless him.
Connor, be careful because I will put you on a timeout ban if you keep swearing in the chat like that.
I fixed all these already, by the way. I don't know if you noticed or not, but half years to come back up.
I didn't see you put them up.
Yeah, I was putting them up while she was talking, mate, having a little rant about almonds. But anyway, doesn't matter.
So where are we then?
People's putting answers in about pie mash, who they prefer. That's where we're up to now.
There we go. Got to be a Fanta for me. Yeah, Fanta all day long. Mickey, you look more like of a triple man. I can eat triple. We should have a contest one day and see how many.
I said this. We should do a score. I think Manzi's did it before, didn't they?
All right, I think we should do it between us. So we'll go. Let's see who it is and see what's what. I would go. I reckon I could probably do 4 and 4.
If we're going for the same ratio to pie and mash, then 4 and 4. But I reckon I could smash away 6 pies, 2 mash. I reckon I could do that.
I tell you who'd be in with a great shout on this is Dan. Dan can polish his food off. He'd be well up for it.
Just on that,
Dan last night at McDonald's.
Yeah, like just for anyone that again, we stay around London Bridge and we went to McDonald's and he had the most mental McDonald's order I've ever seen. He got like 6 chips, fucking a fillet of fish, whatever it was all over the place. And I remember coming out with this massive bag.
What did he have? He had 20 chicken slenders or something, or chicken nuggets, didn't he? Then some chicken sides, and then he had 2 chips, a couple of cheeseburgers, and something else. And we're like, who's that for? And he went, it's for the train ride home. And you're like, mate, really?
Come out with like an Uber Eats delivery man. It's massive.
Oh, look, Charlie says not for me. Not for me is in pie and mash, or not for you is in Armex.
He's saying almonds. There's Charlie. You met him yesterday.
Look, see, Manzi's all the way. 3 pie, 1 mash, load of liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Manzi's all day. Peckham Manzi's to the den is only 10 minutes on a line bike. There's some content for us, isn't it? Trip to Manzi's on a fucking on a line bike.
On a line bike doing a
Manzi's 4 to 1. Don't Manzi's try and put gravy on your grub. Get out of it. No, don't.
That's true. Manzi's do have gravy available. That's the only thing I'll say. Almost doesn't have gravy, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Proper.
It's proper shit. Goddard's
I think Sam T commented saying is that bad we're talking about pie mash, but yeah, I think let's put a bit of laughter into our lives because it's depressing times being a Millwall fan at the moment. But so let's be honest.
Goddard's 100%. I've never been to Goddard's. I don't mind. To me, Goddard seems a bit too touristy.
I don't mind it. It's not bad. Goddard's.
But listen, if anyone from Goddard's is watching and wants to invite us down to do
and if you have
a pre-match and giving us free pie and mash, or even Manzi's, because all the time we brought the fucking Navy boys to your shop and you've not once given us free pie and mash.
The only thing Goddard's has going for it as well, you can have your 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. Then you can get a Jamboree pony and custard afterwards, or have a little dessert if you fancy it.
Oh, sticky, spotty dick.
They have it all in there. It's a good little gaff.
Avoid the Greenwich one. Danny Baker goes in there. He's going to the ground lately as well, so fucking avoid that as well, I suppose. But yeah, things are so bad. You're talking about.
That's what I mean, yeah, you've got to bring some laughter into this chat today.
Wrong pie and mash.
He loves pie mash.
Pie and mash is life, yeah. Also, just getting a pie mash. Do you think now we should give Stephen his P45 for? I
mean, I want to see. I think next home game he's got to go pie mash. We've got to have pie mash for Stephen. We've got to see what's going on.
Daniel,
not happening, man.
No one's mentioned jelly deals, mate, for a reason. I think you need to be a certain age to like jelly deals, and not for me. I don't know who else likes them. I think there'll be a few on there. So, yeah, all the Deptford Manzi's and the old one in Bexley.
Oh, Deptford Manzi's. I missed that gaff. It's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah. Get off, Stephen. Sorry I'm late, but I'm still fuming. 2 points dropped, never a pen. Okay. Worst Manzi's. Wasn't Manzi's first ever pie and mash shop? Yeah, it was, I think. I agree, Mickey. Manzi's all day. Manzi's all the way. My missus from Walworth, and someone put me on the telly then, and she's fucking mental. See, Stephen done the American Pie style.
And that's a thought I don't need to have right now on a Sunday evening before I go to work tomorrow.
This is what I miss about the old den. The atmosphere was totally out there and having it with away fans, shitting themselves. What a rush, but these days are long gone. Yeah, no. I mean, when I first moved to, it was weird. When I first moved near the Den, I lived in the Cliftonville Tavern opposite the Den, and I moved out luckily before the riot happened. But when I was there, it was like 98, 99, I think it was when I moved in there, and it was like Cardiff, Man City. Well, Man City was a little bit later, but Cardiff and all that, and they'd be running battles I mean, there'd be police vans literally loaded up the whole of Ilderton Road. There were battles and everything. It was a fearful place. But now you can walk up the road being an away fan wearing colours, mate, and it's nothing. Omar for the win. Oh no, Omar won't beat me, mate. I'll fucking beat him. So both of us then we're going to do 6 and 1, are we?
Yeah, come we go.
Oh, no, next one then. We're video as well.
I think someone said after you go Wimpy afterwards as well, Mickey, by the way.
I'll go Wimpy, mate. I want to go Wimpy and have the Olympic breakfast.
Yeah.
So say
I can get on board with that. We do that for a game.
What, free pie, free mash?
No, the Wimpy.
Wimpy want to sponsor us, by the way.
Watch his face.
There we go. And someone else. Go on, give him grief now, Alex.
I'm with Stephen.
I've always liked Alex.
Not a pie and mash fan, but I do. No, you see, sarsaparilla. That's pie and mash. Do you like sarsaparilla?
No.
Oh, you're a cunt. Why is Joe still picking Zian? We don't care, Bobby. We don't care. You're late. We talked about football. We're now talking about pie and mash and Wimpy. We're going to fish and chips soon, mate. So listen, if you want to listen, you want to get involved in the chat for that, start watching the show from the beginning and get involved in the comments. But no one's there. Dan Riggs. Rich, oh yeah, that Richard and thing here, Dan. Have I missed all the chat? Yeah, you have. You're late. I mean, I still haven't got my aftershave. Do 4 and 4 at Armits if you're tough. Get fucked, Gary. There is no chance I'll be doing 1 and 1, mate. There'll be no chance I'll be doing half a pie there, mate. Ever again. The pie it just didn't look like mince. It looked like, I don't know, it looked as if they'd gone down a vegan route or something. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't nice.
I think you caught him on a bad day yesterday. I will say that much. I've only been twice now, but I think last time I went was better. But
well, you see, first impressions count with me, and the fact that it was shit. The fact is, I've always told it was shit, and I never needed to go in there to know it was shit.
Yeah,
I just know that I'm right.
First impressions, I thought you was a cunt when I first met you, and I still think you're a cunt now, so that makes sense.
That's all right. Yeah, but I've never. I tell you I'm a cunt. I don't tell you otherwise. And most of our listeners know I'm a cunt. And also, big shout out to Peter yesterday, Peter Schultz, who come up to me inside the den yesterday and went, Mickey, I think you're a cunt. And I went, well done, and here's a key ring. So that was class. So yeah.
Okay. Should we try and bring it back to football, or are we going to stay on?
Yeah, do it.
Pie mash.
No,
I don't mind. I don't mind.
There's so much pie mash.
Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like Manzi's won overall there, by the way. But
there's a comment coming from David, which is unreal. By the way, it's towards the end. It's unreal.
Mitch, I'd rather eat the fucking elf. Yeah, me and you. Manzi's all day long, if not Esther. Let's have a look. Deptford Manzi's is still there.
Yeah, it is. Apparently so. I thought it was gone. I'm sure it closed down for a bit. Maybe I'm wrong. I think David's on the meal deal talk. I love it.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
My parents had their wedding reception in there. Yeah. Well, when I was there, and it was weird because when I was first there, and I got with my missus, we used to drink. I never forget. We used to drink in the Golden Lion, either the Golden Lion or Browncoats. And in the Golden Lion, I never forget, I don't know his name, but there was a geezer there where we drink there, and he basically lifted up his shirt one day to show us his toe, and around his belly button he had 100% Millwall hooligan, and it was just fucking brilliant. It was lovely because you had all the kids off Ilderton Road, all the Traveller Estate there used to come in the pub all dolled up and all young and all run into the toilets. And then waiting there for people to come in and go, can you buy me a drink at the bar, please? Can you buy me a drink at the bar, please? It all looked like when my missus used to go in Canterbury. Now, there's a strange story about the Canterbury where I remember going in the Canterbury one time with a fella, I think, who lived there. And in the back, where we walked in the back, like the staff bit into the back, there was 2 Speedway bikes tucked into a corner because the fella in the pub used to do Speedway. And he didn't leave the bikes in the van. And literally, my first thing of walking into the Canterbury Arms was the 2 bikes tucked up in this little alcove bit inside it. But yeah, no. It was just a thing. That was a good pub. That was until it's gone now, and it's African pub now. And the Barnaby. Do you remember the Barnaby with the pennies on the counter?
If you think you're a bit too older for us, mate, unfortunately. I'm sure someone will chat.
People in the comments will. So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so Canterbury Arms. There's a good video of the Canterbury Arms on YouTube when West Ham come to town, and the Windsor. Well, now the Windsor, isn't it? Stephen must be a tree hugger. Who doesn't eat pie and mash? Fatty TV does 10 out of 10 while streaming.
Does 10/10 while streaming. Oh dear.
I went to Alderton School, Mickey. Oh right, that was right opposite where I lived. Yeah, on the cliff. Yeah, I lived in my flat was opposite. So yeah, what's your meal deal from Sainsbury's, lads?
I don't go Sainsbury's for a meal deal personally. You got to go Tesco's first. That's where you go wrong. Tesco meal deal.
No, if you go, no, you see, I spend my life driving around, so I've got meal deals for everyone. My meal deal at Sainsbury's would be the ham hock sandwich, and then a can of Coke or a bottle of cherry Coke, and a bag of salt and vinegar McCoys, because you can crunch them and eat them with a sandwich. So yeah.
It's got to be chicken triple or all day breakfast from Tesco's, and then you get a McCoy's Thai sweet chicken, and then you get a Pepsi Max. Bosh. Sometimes Pepsi Max cherry.
The best sandwich, Marks and Spencer's. If you want the best, they do a sandwich which is in their meal deal, which is about £4.50. I think their meal deal is, depending if you buy it from a garage or the shop.
Mate, that is posh.
But they do a club sandwich, which is 6 bits of bread. They do a club sandwich, which is £5 on its own, but you can get it on a meal deal with one of their fancy fruit juices and a bag of crisps. Sainsbury's is right. Yeah, I could give you a meal deal for all of them, mate. Trust me.
Chicken and bacon sandwich is the one. Chicken and bacon sandwich.
That's just as bad as not eating.
No, it's not. It's just not, though. It's just not.
Bobby, get your boy to check if whether or not we can come there before a game and we can record a show in there and eat pie and mash, and they give us a pie and mash and we give them loads of publicity. but we're going 5 and 1 though. Where is it? It's clear there's a lot of Armit supporters here. Yeah, I just haven't fucking seen them.
Yeah, that's the point.
We're the podcast from Hansies.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Man's pony saying there, mate. You have that one.
Yeah. Craig, that's not nice, mate. And I have timeout buttons, so be careful. We can time you out. And they've now gone up from 5 seconds or 10 seconds now to 24 hours. Not that I'm going to ban anyone. I've not banned anyone. So yeah, I've not even blocked people. I think we must be one of the only podcasts that don't.
Right. Should we answer this question from David just to stay back to football? Go back to that one, Mickey. The one just above. If we're in the bottom 3 with 10 games to go, would you get rid of Joe Edwards? Over to you, Mickey, and the panel. Mickey, you first. What's going on? Are we sticking with Edwards forever? Is it even worth talking about after 7 games? Probably not. But hypothetical situation, 10 games to go. What's going on there? What are you doing?
I'd probably say you're going to have to keep him because of the upheaval and everything else to find him, unless you've already done it by then, and then literally you're going, right, we're now bringing someone else in.
He's obviously our man, right? And that's the club who identified that, went through the interview process, right, chaps, yeah? But is there an argument to say we haven't really gone full out to town on him either? We've only brought in him and Andy Myers. I mean, I guess we don't have a big budget for the players, for the management staff, but I don't know. It's a question there, isn't it, I suppose? I personally think we stick with Edwards, but I need to see something that's going to get me excited again, like Sheffield Wednesday, very soon, because it's just like, I know where this goes with Millwall, and it's hard to get out of it sometimes, and I feel like it's going the way it's been when I've seen us relegated twice before. It's a bit of a worry.
Just to add a little bit into that as well.
Go back to food.
In our last 10 games, we play Rotherham, Huddersfield, Plymouth. I'd say Swansea, I'm not down there, but we'll include them on the last game of the season. So we have got 4 could be huge games. Certainly 3 in there that you would expect to be down there. Plymouth, Huddersfield, Rotherham.
Yeah, mate, it's huge games. Oh, thing is, though, we're not getting over the line in the games he's got now against them. I feel like the next 2 games are huge. Like we said, the next 3 games are huge before Huddersfield, but he needs a result. He fucking needs a result big time. And I do think it will change if we get one. I do. I really do.
I wouldn't be sacking him with 10 games to go.
No.
I don't see the benefit in that, knowing how long we take with the process of trying to find a manager. By the time someone's put into place, we'll only have about 4 or 5 games left. So I wouldn't.
Ben, sorry, mate. Have you been there?
Yeah, Shackerby, yes. Miami Chicken, I haven't, no.
Okay. What about the Warrior? Yeah, the Warrior. I had a friend when I first come up. I had a friend who lived opposite above Jay Jeans. At the time when there was a fella years ago, and I'll be careful, but the fella got killed on the crossing there, and she knew that someone had been hit because they come past her window. But yeah, that was a weird one back then, and it was just around the same time as that kid got murdered on there as well. But Simon Hughes then had death threats, didn't he? And he was he used to have armed police outside his house. But yeah, Bobby's. So that's after aftershave pie and mash. You owe Mickey now. Yeah. I remember the Crown and Anchor. Yeah, where Hong Kong City is now. That was a big pub. That was, wasn't it? Where are we? London Line, the pub, West Ham walked past back in the day. Yeah, the Crown and Anchor when they walked past, and then they went to what is the Windsor now. Used to be the Hairy Lemon, didn't it? So yeah, let's look through these, and then we do the ones what I've starred, and then we're going. Just one what was in the comment, boys. Where is it, Mickey? I see you in the summer for that game versus TT. Definitely, fella. We'll sort that. We've also got a cricket game coming now as well after last night. So yeah. Barry Kitchener used to have a pub down the Old Code Road. He did, but what pub did he own? I can't remember what pub it was. I think it was the one behind KFC, wasn't it? I'm not 100%. I have Mickey samples of Creed on me. Sweet. Right, here we go. Right, comments. We're done. We're closing now. So, Mill Identity is dead. Yes, we all agree with that. It's not the same as it used to be. Yeah. Bradders was a fluke last season. Sorry, Ben. Zian was an unknown, so people know how to counteract his game this year, and he doesn't seem to have the mentality of the games anymore. I think that's pretty accurate.
Omar? I haven't forgot. Don't think I forgot after all this.
You don't need pie mash, mate.
I don't care.
Yeah, he doesn't. Thank you.
Zian Fleming. Time to think about maybe
he drops in midweek and brought him back in, didn't he? So,
but we were worse. We were worse than with him on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yesterday, if a bid comes in for Zian Fleming in January, I think the club should look to take it. Personally,
yeah. On more important terms, Barry Kitchener had the Shard Arms on the Old Kent Road.
Whereabouts is that?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm not sure. But he had the Shard Arms apparently.
That's from the dad, isn't it?
No, I just had a quick little look. I've remember talking about it before with someone actually. No, but I think on the old situation with Fleming, he's not doing great. I do think it's only temporary, the form, but it's been going on for a while. But like I said, no one else is really sticking out. Are they really? No one's grabbing the headlines. No one's scoring goals. Norton Cuffy's the only one that's turned up and doing something at the minute. So, and Nisbet scored a few. I thought he looked quite good yesterday. I don't know if we didn't really talk about that, but I thought he looked lively. But I don't know. I think I can't all lump it on Fleming. I think he's been shit, but it's not all Fleming. I don't think he's not been the hero like he was last season. Yes, but he needs to improve. I agree.
Yeah. If we had Jack Clark on the left, Nisbet and Bradders should be getting goals all day long.
We probably wouldn't. We don't really play with a winger, do we? That's the only trouble with that. But
real identity: 4-4-2, 2 wingers, 2 strikers. No, is that what we're missing? Sign some wingers in the January window.
Just on that though, the two up top worked well yesterday. I did think that was best to see Nisbet play in terms of his link-up play and his work rate.
Was you confused by the form? What formation do you guys think we played yesterday?
I was going to say.
At times it was a back four. At times it was a back five with Nisbet up front, but Nisbet was on the left a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah,
quite fluid,
didn't he? And then push into the
because there was a time where Norton Cuffy was right wing, then he's a right wing back. It's like right back. I think without the ball, it felt like a back five. With the ball, back four. I couldn't be sure, but it felt like it was quite fluid at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look as if Nisbet was playing left wing, didn't it?
Yeah, especially first half. I felt that was the case.
Yeah,
and drifted inwards. I think it was 5-2-1-2, like it was a Wednesday night. But there was times where it was like Nisbet's playing centrally, and then on the left side, especially when Brian came on, he bombed on a bit more as well. It was interesting.
There's a couple of times as well.
That's allegedly, by the way.
Nisbet put a couple of decent crosses in, and you're thinking he's the one that you want
Correct.
on the end of the crosses, which is the frustrating thing. Like, it's almost as if to compensate having Nisbet and Bradshaw on the pitch, one of them had to be out wide or Do you know what I mean? Rather than both central.
I think with Brian back, obviously we'll talk about it I'm sure later in the week, previewing Stoke, but I think that could be an option to have a left wing back and right wing back non-Cuffy, and then you have the two up top.
Right, gents, we're got three parts left now. Omar, what's your Greg's order?
Depends how hungry I'm when I walk in, mate. I could easily walk out just for the steak bake, or I could leave. At the moment, I'll tell you what though, top advice, and I'll come back on Friday. We'll see. When I'm next back on. But mince pies from Greg's are top tier. Top tier.
That was going to be your answer then.
Trust me, at the moment, Christmas. But trust my advice here, guys. Get mince pies. If you like mince pies, Greg's mince pies are top of the game.
Do they still do the Christmas bakes at Greg's?
Yes, they do the festive bake. Yeah, but I've not been Greg's for a little while, but I do go in there to pop in that when it's Christmas as well. But normally I get a chicken bake and a steak bake, and I'll grab a Dr Pepper.
All right, here we go. My one, yeah. Sausage roll, tomato soup, and a pepperoni pizza.
Tomato soup. Fuck me.
Yeah, dip your sausage roll in the tomato soup. I'm telling you, it is a game changer.
Interesting. I'll tell you, but honestly, mince pies. I'll say to the son, do people like mince pies? Doesn't matter. Try Greg's mince pie. What about you, Ben?
We'll click this and put it out, and hopefully Greg's will give us some free mince pies.
Chicken bean melt always, mate. Chicken bake and a loose family is mine.
Nice. Stephen, do you go Greg's, or is it maybe the pastry situation like pies?
No, I love a bit of Greg's. I'd go a bacon and cheese wrap pastry thing, sausage roll. Dependent on, I'll tell you what they do. What I do like in there, they're cookies. Cookies in Greg are decent. So
we do need to change the show name to that Millwall podcast food review.
Yeah, food club.
That
Millwall podcast.
Food club. No. Whoa.
That's a new one.
Not food club. You've got like the man versus food challenges or something like that. That Millwall pod versus food, and it starts with the first episode of Omar v Mickey at Pie Match.
Mate, we're gonna smash that. I'll tell you what, I could definitely do 6 and 2. I'm down. I won't eat for 3 days prior, but I'm.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. Right. I am not going into that, but I will tell you a story from there. We were in there one day, and these 2 youngsters come in and said, "Do you want to buy a fridge?" And Steve, who ran the pub, went, "Yeah, I could do with one because they can keep beer in it." Because he used to always have drinking contests with the travellers from the Alderton Road. And that's another story there. But anyway, these kids said, "All right, no worries, give us 10 minutes, we'll come back." So they come back, put the fridge down, and went, score, we just want to get some weed. So they was like, "Oh, yeah, no worries, there you go," thinking that they'd cleared out their house because they just wanted to think it. Anyway, left it there. Come later on, Steve turned around to a couple of us and said, "Oh, can you just put the fridge in the bar? Can you move it into there for us?" Like, yeah. Went to lift it up and it rattled. Opened it up. Fucking had some cunt shopping in it.
Nice.
Fucking yeah. So that was back when Bermondsey was Bermondsey. First and another one. Go on.
I agree with Mr. Nate about Ayres the bakery, by the way, Nunhead, but it's about £4 for a steak bake nowadays. Steaks like, so make it out what you will.
And Dave Clark says we need a national supermarket sponsorship after there. Fuck me, loads of comments coming in now. I want to go.
Everyone, the comments now are going through the Greg's order: sausage and cheese, bean melt, sausage roll, sausage and cheese, bean melt, and a donut.
I'll tell you wouldn't get this on Lions TV, would you?
Who's that?
Well, there we go. So I remember the Barnaby players.
What's really funny is there'll be people that probably have tuned into us for the first time tonight, and they've come on and gone. They've gone, "What is this? This isn't the Millwall I know."
I think it was not the NTMIK, right? I think what's the Mill Holders ordered the pizza, so you're welcome. There you go. Yeah.
Fuck it, just ordered an 18-inch pizza.
Yeah.
Where is it? If you sack him, it's only going to be Warnock or Big Mick. That comes in to steady the ship. I don't want Mick. I'll take Warnock. But yeah, Mickey, I'll see you in the summer for that. Yeah, there we go. I worked in a Barnaby on match days in the 70s. Yeah, it did have. That is the bar. That is the one, isn't it, with the pennies on the counter? Yeah, it is. I know it is. Yeah. So yeah, I have Mickey's samples. We'll pass them on to you on Friday. Has SA left the club to Burnley? Lads, we're still putting £15 each in. We could play QPR Boxing Day. Huh? Confused on that one, but yeah.
No, there was a talk, wasn't there, about if you cut weeks ago when we were talking about the charity game, you could all pay to play on the pitch, and everyone was saying, "Oh, we can play for the first team."
Yeah, that's it. Kitchener had the pub on the corner of Peckham Park Road and Old Kent Road. Okay. Oh yeah, what's the Chinese now, isn't it? I think. Oh no. Where am I? Peckham Park. Oh no, that's the one which is now the restaurant opposite the Civic Centre, isn't it? Yeah. Who remembers the Henry Cook? Yeah, plenty of nights in there, mate. Oh, that was my early years round there, Lace, mate. So yeah. And who remembers Squibbles?
You're not too young. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, you won't. But I bet anyone else, mate. Squibbles was fucking an evil place, mate. It was a place where you'd walk in and rather than you'll put your phone on the counter, some fucker next to you would stick a fucking handgun on the counter. It was a fucking proper fucking strange place, not a place you'd want to go to too often. Right, we are through these comments now, I think. Thank God. What's the verdict on Brian's return? I thought it was all right. Gordon Ramsley would have loved this tonight. Yeah.
And now we're going to cut to our sponsor, Gordon Ramsay. Talk about food today.
No, look, sausage rolls, fucking hell. It's Greg's now. I'm going to have to clip all this because Greg's, there's got to be a deal in there for Greg's in it tonight, ain't? Mickey, your bad food knowledge is second to none. I know food like the back of my hand, mate, because I'm a fat cunt. Football, wow.
Yeah. If only you applied that to your football, Nigel.
Yeah, that's it. Stephen doesn't have a Greg's if you don't eat pie and mash. He has a salad bag from Waitrose.
I bet when the question come up, he was sat there going, "Oh no!"
Honestly, when those two are talking about, I'm thinking, "Oh, in about 5 minutes, he's going to go, what do you order?" No, I knew it was coming. I'm thinking, do I just make it up or not? But I tell the truth.
Yeah, that's it. It's done for you, mate. I'm sorry.
Lottery Larry. Yeah. I've known him outside of him, but yeah, not what to call it. Not Ginger Bob the characters. I would like to do a book on Millwall fans, not Ginger Bob the characters and stories. What do you think? Millwall Holding, if you drop me an email, I will put you in touch with a Millwall fan who publishes books, mate, and he'll be the best man to talk to. Merv Payne publishes a lot of books and can do them on Amazon and other thing. Merv Payne.
There you go. Thank you.
So yeah, if you drop us an email at info@thatmillwallpodcast.co.uk, I can put you two in contact and then go from there. That's it then. So thanks very much for joining that Millwall podcast versus food part one. And the first part of it was obviously the show where we talk about football. But hey ho, it is what it is. Christ, stop with the fucking chats. I'm going. Does anyone want to say anything before we go? Any final words from you boys? Yes, give me a second. That one on what?
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, I just can't believe Steve doesn't like pie and mash. But yeah, thanks for having me on tonight, as always.
I told you, email Stephen, spelt correctly, at thatmillwallpodcast.co.uk, and we'll get a date arranged. And then I might have to do it for you, with you. So thingy. So yeah. Thanks, chaps. Armits for breakfast. No fucking chance, mate. Not unless they're doing a fry up. And then I reckon they'd fuck that up too.
At least they cook it in front of you and make it in front of you, mate. That's something Manzi doesn't have going for it. And we saw the horror.
Rather they didn't. That one. If I'm honest with you, I'd rather they didn't.
But yeah.
So yeah, bear with me 1 second. I just need to bring that up. Those of you who are watching, I can't get it up. I should have done it, but I didn't. Benjamin, tell us what you're doing. That's easier.
In a bid to get a little bit fitter and do a bit for charity, I'm running 50 miles, not at once. Don't panic, because you'd never see me again if that was the case. 50 miles accumulative over Jan for the Royal British Legion. So obviously,
and we put his stats up for you on our podcast every day. When he's running, he sends us his recording. We'll put it up to show you, but he wants your money. So we will post out the link when we post the show link out, and then also in the comments, if you come back later on tonight or tomorrow in the description of both this and the podcast, then we will have the link there for you to be able to do it. Fucking take Stephen to IMETS. If fucking never have pie mash again. Happy Christmas and all of that. So yeah. Right, gents. Obviously Omar weren't there, but I've got this to play us out with. So thank you very much. And we'll be back before Christmas. So yeah, this was a video we did last night.
Good evening, welcome to a non-live edition of that Millwall podcast. We are in London Bridge, having a Christmas drink, and I am with the one and only.
The 97th minute penalty hasn't dampened our spirits.
Yeah, that's how, yeah.
It hasn't.
Okay.
It hasn't.
Okay, and just so we can remember when times were good. What game are you thinking of negative, Dan?
I mean, as we said, mate, Plymouth away. Obviously, I'm thinking that one, mate.
And because he's shown on the big screen at least every game now.
Obviously,
okay.
I'm going to charge my appearance for this way, mate. So,
any agents out there want to represent him? Then off we go. We are joined by our northern correspondent.
Hi guys. Millwall. Wait, Joey. Wait.
Hi, Guy. Oh, right, sorry.
Joey was Champions League Lions 2024.
There you go. You've heard it here live. Anyone else want to come in, or you're okay?
No, we're done.
I'm Stephen's dad.
Oh, here we go. Look,
I'm Stephen's dad. Hello. I'm pleased to be there. Merry Christmas to everybody, and thank you. Cheers.
There we go. Do you want to come on or not?
I'll come on.
Okay, we're joined by Cheery Louis. No, it's Paul Louis, or whatever you want to fucking call him. He's on social, but yeah, follow him on Twitter. Here we go.
Hello. I'm in dead shit because my missus I was supposed to be home 3 hours ago, but these boys are taking me out.
It's not me. He told us it was his birthday and we had to have a drink with him.
No, I told him well again.
Oh, there we go. Anyway, look, right. We're having a laugh. We just want to say, it's all right. Hopefully they're not saying anything dodgy in the background there, because you will hear. But anyway, all we wanted to say was thank you very much for following us this year. Happy Christmas. Have a good Christmas with your family, your friends.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Enjoy the period over Christmas. Drink merry.
Drink a lot.
Drink like Dan.
No, don't drink like that. Don't drink like that. Never drink like that. But Merry Christmas. Oh, and sponsor me. I'm doing a 50-mile run in January for the Royal British Legion.
well,
We'll be releasing those in due time. But of course, listen, enjoy Christmas. Merry Christmas. And trust the process.
There we go. That was a very funny night, and we'll do another one, and we need to get more in there and make sure I was there. So yeah, that was good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching.
Guys.
We'll be out as a podcast in the morning, and we'll be back before Christmas. No doubt these lads will do a pre-record in a week. So see you later on. All the best, ladies.